Hello everyone, thank you to join this new session presented by Tamas. Thank you to join for this time. It will be a pleasure to have you because last time it was completely full. So we will still waiting maybe 1 or 2 minutes to be sure that everyone will be part of this webinar, will be joined also and be connected. If you have any question, don't hesitate to put your question in the chat. It will be easier after at the end for Tamas to answer and everything. So now, Tamas, maybe I'll let you introduce you quickly, and after the floor is yours. So let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Introduction. Yeah. So welcome everyone. I think let's wait a minute, indeed, and then it's now exactly top of the hour, and then let's. I will start in a few seconds.
And also, I will complete you, Tamas. If anyone have question about replay, the replay will be sent automatically after the webinar. So don't worry about this. You will receive an access link to the replay directly. So I wish you a good session to everyone.
I will do my best to make it a good session.
It's okay. It's not too warm. It's all right.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow. Okay, so let's go, Tamas. After people will join, we'll continue.
All right. So welcome everyone to this webinar titled "Boost Your Business Process with SAP Business AI: From Inspiration to Real Impact." And actually, that's exactly what I try to achieve. I will talk about a few words about ourselves. I keep it very short because I know you are more interested in real content. Of course, in the last week was Sapphire in Madrid and before in the US. So I have the latest information to share with you. So I will talk about where is AI today, where is AI from SAP. I will talk about different techniques. Some are older, some are completely new from Sapphire. And then in the second part of this webinar, I will really go into, okay, how do we translate that into real impact? And we have some successes in this area. I will explain. So we believe we have a proven methodology to go from ideas, vague ideas, inspiration to actually really impact life in production, working well. So I will explain how we do this. And then, of course, in the end, we will have enough time for Q&A. So let me get to the next slide. So a little bit about myself. I have 28 years SAP experience. I'm at SAP People, I'm the Group Innovation Director, and in my current role, of course, I have a strong focus on AI, as you can imagine. Nowadays, innovation is really fueled by AI. I'm an SAP mentor, which gives me the chance to have direct contact with SAP on multiple levels, to the board level. And then I'm generally active. I live in the Netherlands, where I'm also chairman of a focus group of the SAP community. And I lecture at university. So a lot of things around SAP. And I work for SAP People. I keep it short. We are a European company in 10 countries with more than 1,200 SAP experts. That's the only thing we do. We do only SAP. And we serve more than 1,000 customers in the region. Then, and this is really the last introduction slide about ourselves. So I would like to explain what we do in terms of AI. So the foundation is that we are transforming ourselves. No, we need to transform ourselves so that we can transform our customers. So we have a strong AI community. It's the strongest community inside SAP People from all of our countries. We organized an AI contest where we created dozens of ideas, and then we are in the realization of several of these. We have our own products, our own IP in credit management, in asset management, but now we are not only extending our products with IP, but also creating new IP based purely on AI. What we next step, what we do is AI advisory. So help customers in creating a strategy, a roadmap, technology guidance. I mean, this is really happening. I mean, this morning I also talked to a customer. It happens regularly. Customers are very curious about AI, and they would like to turn it into something concrete, a roadmap, what scenarios to realize. I mentioned SOA people. We are a big European partner, one of the biggest. So of course we implement the standard AI scenarios from SAP, Joule, obviously, but some other common scenarios like sales order, invoice scanning, the list goes on. So the standard solution from SAP. We also have an approach, what we call an AI approach workshop. I will explain that in the webinar, where we help our customers to identify the right use cases for AI. Now, I will explain this in more detail, but this is a very important step in our approach. And then with that, we can create differentiating AI solutions. So AI solutions which go beyond the SAP standard, of course, built on top of the standard, following all the SAP guidelines, clean core and everything. But these are specific, industry specific, business specific, customer specific agents, where which create a lot of value for our customers. So this is the big picture, and the case which I will explain a little bit today as an example is what we built for Promocean. Promocean is a Dutch customer of ours, where we got a global SAP Innovation Award this year in the category of Technology Pathfinder. So we implemented a solution for procurement, which helps their operational buyers to make good decisions on the purchase order. So they have lots of purchase orders, lots of vendors, and the system is suggesting how to process these purchase orders. So gives recommendations, which action proposals, and then the people are still in the loop, but with this AI support, they can really improve their purchasing performance. And this is a statement from the managing director. They were curious how to get value from AI. Now we have a case with the return on investment within a year, and now we are talking about the whole roadmap of how to go further, create more scenarios like this in their company. So let me take a step back and introduce where we are with AI. Okay. No, of course, AI is a big field. In the last years, we talked a lot about machine learning, deep learning, which is a next level, more specific with neural networks. And then in the last 3 years, of course, generative AI everybody's attention, since the ChatGPT went really big. So nowadays, large language models are big topics inside the AI field, and nowadays agents. I will talk about agents. Agents are different because large language model. So I say ChatGPT because I'm sure everybody knows it, but of course there are more. It's reactive. No, you go to ChatGPT, you ask a question, you get an answer. If you don't go and don't ask a question, nothing happens. No, it will not come to you. Agents are different. Agents are active. Agents are even proactive, if you want. So they do things for you. So you give them a task, you give them resources, and then they use the resources to achieve their task. So more acting instead of just thinking. So we see a big proliferation of LLMs each week, new LLMs, new versions. It's really fascinating to see the evolution. Lots of startups, lots of investments, fast growth, and then of course a lot of big challenges for everyone, not only business-wise, but also for the whole society, politics, government, lots of geopolitical questions. So that's where we are. More from technical point of view, we see the modalities are growing in AI. So it started with only text. Of course, coding is also text. So nowadays, software development is really a sweet spot for AI. It's very good at it. But we can also do image, audio, video, and now, of course, also 3D words, especially for robots. Context windows, efficiency is growing each time more and better. Reasoning, since a year or two, that became standard feature. So logical thinking. And the topic which is the focus of my presentation today is really agents using tools, which is the latest and the strongest version of AI today. I always like to show this graph. It shows the different companies, LLM providers, and the fierce competition among them. It's almost hard to see what's going on here. But yeah, basically, yeah, maybe today a certain model is the best, and then maybe next week it's already changing. It's a very tough competition, a lot of players, really very, very fast evolution. Today's world, I think a lot of people talk about Claude from Anthropic, which for enterprise business at the moment has a lead, but it's a question how long they can keep it. You see, it goes head to head. Then the question is, what does SAP bring to this? So I mean, SAP is probably not seen as the biggest AI innovator in the world. No, it's not in the league with Anthropic or Google or other leaders, maybe even China, of course, not plays a big role. So why SAP? And the SAP has really three value points, value proposition. One is their deep processing industry. So if you go to ChatGPT, and again, Gemini or whatever you like, Claude, it's amazing how intelligent it is, but it doesn't know SAP well enough. No, so if you ask specific questions, it won't be good enough. But if you ask questions which require your own data, so that's the second point. So semantically rich business data, your own business data, of course, it doesn't know it. It doesn't have it. And yeah, so that for business, that's a requirement. You want that intelligent, but you want it in your environment with your data and with your system connected, and you want it in a governed way. So of course, security is a huge topic. Data privacy. If you have agents doing things, and okay, how can you trust that? How can you govern it? How can you rely on the consistency? You want to manage the costs these AI creates. You want to see how these agents perform. Do they actually meet the expectations? They keep on running automatically, but you want to monitor them. You want to see how the agents make decisions. Do you still agree with what they make, or do you have to fine tune your agents? A little bit like colleagues, no? Colleagues, you also give them a task, they keep on working, but at some point you have a check, okay, are they still going the right way? Or maybe you have to have a adjustment. So here it's exactly the same. And then at Sapphire, SAP introduced the SAP Business AI platform, and overall above it, the vision of autonomous enterprise. So what you see here, the full picture is the autonomous enterprise, which has two parts. The top part is the autonomous suite, and the bottom part is the Business AI platform. So the autonomous suite is basically all the SAP's software, which SaaS solutions, which you know. So of course, S/4HANA, Ariba, Concur, SuccessFactors, no, this whole list of products. But we are now in this agentic AI world where there will be a lot of agents as well. As of today, there are around 1,000 agents in the SAP ecosystem. They are not easily accessible yet because it's just brand new from last week. So SAP still has to, make them available. But more than 200 agents from SAP and then around 800 agents from partners are somewhere already. They already exist. Probably not all production ready to be realistic with you. I mean, this is all very new. But what we can expect in this autonomous suite is really we will go from few agents to dozens and hundreds and eventually to thousands of agents. And then all these agents rely on the SAP Business AI platform. And in the Business AI platform, you can build agents, you can contextualize, reason, and govern. What is this Business AI platform? It's a new thing which SAP just invented it and announced it at Sapphire. Actually, it's a composition of existing things. So on one hand, the business technology platform, which I guess many of you know, use, or at least heard of, the SAP Business Data Cloud, which is SAP's leading solutions for managing data, and the AI Foundation, which maybe less of you know, but that's part of BTP specific for the AI, where you have all LLMs from more than 40 LLMs and all the extra services SAP provides for AI. So really the technical AI foundation, as they say. So they combined a couple of things: BTP, PDC, AI Foundation, a few additional tools, and they call them the Business AI platform. So it's of course a renaming exercise, as SAP always does that. But also these components are combined in a way to support this agentic AI story, where again you see build, contextualize, and reason, and govern. Because these are the three main things you want to achieve. What you need to do in this agentic. You want to build the agents. You want to contextualize them. That's the most difficult part. Like the agents should be aware of the latest SAP best practices. It should know your system, your data, your processes, your industry. So that context is the special value of SAP. That's to me, if I could summarize this all, that's the number one value added from SAP, the business context. As I said, they are not the AI pioneers in the world. Anthropic and others are in that category, but SAP is the one which can add the business context. So this is a big part of this. And then you have to govern on the right side. As I explained, you want to know which agents you have, what these agents do, which systems they connect, what steps they make, how they perform, what costs they generate, how they impact your process. So here is integration with Signavio, with LeanIX, in case you know these tools. So, and of course, the whole security aspect. So let me now, on the right side, translate it into what is available for what kind of, because that's always the question. So if you are in the public edition of S/4HANA Cloud, or in the private, or the third one, or if you commit to RISE, this is a new thing which they announced with Sapphire, that even customers which are not in the cloud, so not in public or not in private yet, but they can commit to RISE contractually, investment. Then they also get access to the full AI portfolio, which is now Joule on the top. I would say in parentheses work. This is the new version of Joule. All the embedded scenarios, I will show you what they mean, and all these agents. So if you are public, private, or commoditized, you get everything. If you are not, so you are on ECC or you are on S4 but on premise, then you can still use the business AI platform. And as you see, that's really, the main platform. And you can still build custom AI scenarios and custom AI agents, and these are not difficult to do thanks to all the tools in the business AI platform. So I think that the standard agents are really brand new, and those are the ones which are only available for the cloud customer. So at the moment, I think the on-premise customers, they don't have a huge disadvantage because this whole agenting world is brand new. So realistically, I see our customers, they invent their own agents, and that anybody can do. That's the key point here. So I have this little video about Joule. I hope by now everybody has seen Joule. This is still Joule as we know today, which is kind of an integrated co-pilot into SAP. You see on the right side of the screen, you can ask questions, you can interact with the main screen. So for example, now I open the sales order, I clicked open in Joule and it opened my main screen. I can ask questions like, okay, I need verification. So what is the delivery status? What does it really mean? And then Joule will explain it to me. Yeah, I can also do more transactional work. Like I could create this sales order on the right side with typing. And this is the experience as we know today. And at Sapphire, the SAP showed the next evolution of Joule Work, which it goes beyond even richer experience. It generates screens, analytics, really a lot more intelligent, a lot more conversational version. So that will come out in the coming months, more or less end of summer, beginning of fall. I mentioned that there are these so-called embedded scenarios. Embedded scenarios means that SAP built in the AI already in the applications. No? So it's not an agent which is running on top of your applications, but these embedded scenarios are already in the application. So basically standard features of S4, SuccessFactors, and all the other ones. And you can find them if you visit this SAP Business AI catalog. I put here in the link. It's a public website. Anybody can go here. And then what are these embedded scenarios? I give you a super simple scenario, an example, which is that, okay, you are on the sales order screen and you want a summary of the sales order. Why you need that? Because maybe your customer asked to make an update, you made an update, and then you want to send back the confirmation. So you can click on one button, AI will make a summary, and then you can share this with you. Something actually really simple. We all know that AI is able to summarize data. Something which is more advanced, and this is already something which creates a lot of value for customer, is OCR, so PDF or image processing. Here's the example of sales order creation. So you get the purchase order probably via an email, probably in a PDF attachment, and then the AI, document AI to be specific, is able to read your PDF, interpret what is in the PDF, and create a sales order request from it, initially a request, which you review, approve, and then it becomes a full sales order. This is also an embedded scenario. Then what I showed before, and as I said, there are hundreds of these, so I only showed two, something simple then something really nice. Simple, I mean the summary. It's really nice is this sales order creation, which could also be invoice creation. And now I will have an example for an agent. No? So this is, really the modern, let's say, best way of using AI nowadays. Where, okay, you are still in Joule, you see on the right side. So this is your interaction with the agent. And for example, here I have a dispute resolution agent. So it has access to my SAP data, by the way, based on roles. So I delegate my roles to my agents. My agents never have more roles than I have, could be less. Uh, and then it checks what is the status of these disputes. It comes with certain recommendations, comes with options for me. It will tell you that, okay, you could solve it this way, or you could solve it this way. What do you want? Then I, as a user, I say, now let's select option B, and then it executes option B, updates system, communicates business partner, and so on. That was one example, but as I said, SAP is talking about releasing 200 agents. And for example, here what you see is a finance, but you have agents in supply chain, in SPAN, in HCM, and in CX, and in finance, you will have dozens of agents and assistants, coordinate the execution of these agents. No? So then you, in Joule, you interact with the assistant, and the assistant will launch the different actions and the different agents, and the different agents come back with the results to the assistant, and the assistant tells you that, okay, I'm done, or I have a question, or you have to select between, option A, B, C, which one you want. So the whole interaction with SAP will change. It is really a different way of working. I mean, right now, I think everybody is used to working in screens, some in GUI, some in Fiori, some in a combination, but you work with screens. And this is a new paradigm where you have basically just a field where you type in something. Of course, voice control will also be possible. And then you interact with agents in an app-less way. So actually, no apps. You can still use apps, and they will not go away. I think this whole shift to this paradigm will probably take years. But let's say at the end of the road, maybe you will have no apps. Maybe you will have just this interaction with your Joule, and then the Joule will just launch agents to do things. And in Joule work, of course, you need to sometimes see something visual, but it will create it for you on the fly using AI, not by pre-built apps. Then this foundation, which I mentioned before, which is on the BTP, and now it's part of the Business AI platform. This part which I want to emphasize for two reasons. One, is available for everyone, so even for on-prem customers. Second, it's really powerful. We see we can create very nice solutions with this for our customers. So here you have the AI Hub, so all the models from the world, OpenAI, Anthropic, AWS, you name it, for the more than 40 models. And this is a cool part, because you have the freedom to choose the best model you want. You have also realistically in a project you want to try different models, and maybe yours better than the other, or maybe the other is cheaper, so you go for that, and the next week the world changes and then you make new choices. And here you have the freedom to do that. You don't have to have a commercial agreement with all these companies, which would be a nightmare. You only subscribe to BTP, probably with your enterprise agreement, and we can turn on and on any of these models. It's secured and governed by SAP, also very important. Some are even hosted by SAP, so then it's you can choose an SAP data center if you prefer. And yeah, one hand to shake. So you have your enterprise agreement, and you can activate any of these models, and you still pay basically by token. SAP calls it different. They call it UI AI unit. In the end, it comes down to tokens, meaning that if you start small, you start with cents, euro cents, and then as your adoption goes, you go into bigger amounts. But actually, many things are really surprisingly cheap. And then here is the place where SAP has their own models, specifically for ABAP development, specifically for tabular data, because the most models in the world are good in predicting text. They kind of predict the next token, but in the SAP world, we deal with a lot of numbers instead of text. So that's why SAP has their own model, which is better at predicting numbers. I talked about the document AI, which is really powerful, invoice, sales order, and other scenarios. And we also get Joule Studio as part of the AI platform to build the agents. So now that was a brief story about what is possible today. And now I would like to focus on the topic, okay, but what do you do? Okay, I said so many things, but how do you find a solution, how you add value for your own company? And most customers I talk to, once they listen to this part, they react a certain way. One reaction is that, okay, I know there are so many new AI technologies from SAP, but also from non-SAP. What can I really do with it? It's too much. What do I do? Or what is hype here? What is reliable? What will stay? What will go away? How to find a business case? I need to have a concrete business case. Inspiration is not enough. And also I hear that, oh, but I'm busy. This is so much to digest. You need to spend your whole day to even understand what's going on in AI. We have other things to do as well. So this is where we came with our approach, which we call innovation coaching. And it's a really different type of SAP project than what people are used to. I think the perception of SAP project is that, oh, it's going to be big, complex, expensive, many consultants, months, maybe years of work. This is something different here. What we do here, we start with a few hours, then we go to few days, few weeks, and only at the end we go to few months. The Promocean case, which I was mentioning, which got the Global Innovation Award, that was a project of 3 months. Eventually, we were asked to, a little bit slow down, and then it was 4 months. But even then, it's in a couple of months we can create a really amazing solution here. And it starts with the Business AI Explorer workshop. So in this workshop, we have a certain proven methodology which created together with SAP. And we provide, as a story people, we provide the guidance, the inspiration, and the concrete outcome of the workshop is use cases. So concrete scenarios where you can add value to your own business with AI. We come with many ideas in this workshop, or actually you will come. We facilitate, but you know your business better than we do. And then we prioritize the ideas by business impact and realization effort. So And of course, we are looking for those fantastic ones, which are high business impact and low realization effort. No, those are kind of the low-hanging fruits. That's the best. And then, okay, you maybe also have some other ones which are maybe even higher value, but more effort. And then it's a choice of where to start. This is the process which we guide. So that's a big benefit from this workshop approach. No, we make sure that you make the right choice where to start with AI. And we bring in the knowledge about the realization effort, so we are able to tell you that okay, this is easy to do, this is difficult to do, and then the reason that you can make the right choices. You will understand SAP's AI strategy in this workshop. I mean, it was just 20 minutes, but yeah, in the workshop we have more time to explain it. And it's a nice workshop. People enjoy it. They have fun. They leave the room with some inspiration. They leave the room with energy, and like, okay, let's go, let's do it. This is really going good. It's also a benefit. So to give you an impression, we have two flavors. We have a half a day format and a full day format. Basically, if we say that, okay, we can limit the workshop to one domain, maybe finance, maybe logistics, then we can do it in a half a day. If you say that, no, let's look across my company in all domains, then basically we need the full day. And then if you take the full day, then we can go into more examples, more demos, deeper discussions. But then, of course, you need the full day, which sometimes, if you are busy, maybe it's more difficult to arrange. This is how it looks in a half a day. We start with some introduction, inspiration. That's important. We come with very concrete examples, what others do, what works well. Everybody is always interested to see that. And then we go into the exercises, which we facilitate to identify the use cases. We prioritize them, work them out, and so on. And in this case, we close with lunch, but of course, that's optional. And yeah, this works well. So, for example, ABB, customer of us, they liked it. Here's a statement from their general director who he joined with 10 colleagues, and yeah, we spend really a nice time together, and we have really a good starting point now for multiple projects which we are working on. So, key takeaways to summarize my story. One, that AI is really transformational. No? I didn't have time to go in a lot of details, but if you start to think about it, it will really change the way we do business. Two, because it's changing other aspects of our life as well, but business for sure. And the opportunities are really enormous. So we see really great results, and we are just at the very beginning. Then, what you have to remember, why SAP? Because SAP brings the AI into your business process. They have the tool, not only the knowledge, but also the tools to make that happen. And they provide enterprise-grade governance, which is maybe not so critical when you start, because you can still oversee once you have one or two agents. But already from the beginning, you want to start in a safe, reliable way, where your company can say that, okay, this is a trusted approach. So this is where SAP has their strengths. And then finally, okay, we have this AI Explorer workshop format. It's proven, it's working well. And these are our recommendation to start with this, because this is how we will translate all these possibilities you have to something real for yourself. And then, yeah, what you can get out in the end. No, you saw the example of Promocean. We started with this workshop. We narrowed it down to the procurement case, which I mentioned briefly. And 4 months later, we won the Global Innovation Prize. So they were live, customer users, the management is happy, the users are happy. We have a whole roadmap. Change management, we tackled, very important. We call it scale with trust. So yeah, it's very, I find it extremely fascinating what is possible nowadays with this. So that's the end of my story, and now we can go to the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Tamas, for this clear presentation. So, as Tamas said, if you have any question, don't hesitate to put inside the chat your question, and we will stay online a few minutes to answer to all your questions if you have some.
Feel free to ask questions about technical questions or questions about SAP's positioning or workshop format, whichever.
Okay, so sounds clear to everyone. Thank you, Tamas, for this presentation. Thank you all to join this webinar. As I told you at the beginning, the replay will be sent automatically. So if you want to share it also, you can directly share the link if you will have access. No need to register or to do something on the landing page. So this is easier for you. And I wish you all a good day. And don't hesitate if you have question later or something else, you can join us. You can contact us by email or directly via our website with the contact page. Thank you all. Have a good day. Thank you, Tamas.
Thank you all. Have a nice day. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye.